Railways have been present in Hong Kong since the Peak Tram began operating in 1888 between the city centre and the Peak. Tram service started on Hong Kong Island in 1904, but it was not until the opening of the KCR in 1910 when Hong Kong got its first heavy rail conventional railway. In October 1910, the Kowloon Canton Railway connecting Kowloon to Canton, now called Guangzhou, opens. The line opens with the stations Kowloon, Hung Hom, Yamati, Sha Tin, Taipo Market, Fan Ling, and Lo Wu, of which the Kowloon, Hung Hom, Taipo Market, and Lo Wu stations were temporary structures. However, Taipo Market Station was considered important enough and shortly after became a permanent station. In April 1912, the Sha Ta Kok branch line opens. It runs from Fan Ling to Sha Ta Kok via Hung Ling, Wohang, and Shek Chung Ao. The line followed the Fan Ling Ao Ha Road for most of its length. In 1913, Shung Shoi Station opens to allow easier access to the nearby Fan Ling Golf Course. In April 1914, the permanent Kowloon Terminus Station opens in Sim Sa Choi, replacing the previous temporary structure. In September 1921, the temporary Hung Kong Station closes and a train depot is built on the site. In April 1928, the Sha Ta Kok branch line closes after just 16 years of service. The narrow gauge railway could not maintain a profit after the road from Fan Ling to Ao Ha was extended to Sha Ta Kok by the government. One of the railway's locomotives is still on display in the Railway Museum, and the Hung Lang Station is still preserved on the Sha Ta Kok Road. In November 1935, Chek Kung Temple Station opens. Trains run from Sha Tin for religious ceremonies and festivals. In October 1936, after just 1 year of service, Chek Kung Temple Station closes. In 1937, the Whampoa docks are connected by rail via Baker Street to transport freight from the dock to Canton. On the Christmas of 1941, the British surrendered to the invading Japanese forces after a fierce battle on Hong Kong Island. The Japanese occupation lasts until 1945, during which the KCR was severely damaged and its trains in disrepair. In the October of 1949, the Communist People's Liberation Army captures Canton during the Chinese Civil War. Because of the deterioration of the regime's political relations, through trains are suspended and KCR trains terminate at Lo Wu Station. In September 1950, the Wo Hop Shek Cemetery branch line opens from Fan Ling. A siding was used to transport the considerable number of bodies from World War II to the Wo Hop Shek Cemetery. In September 1956, Ma Liu Shui Station opens. In 1966, Taipo Station is renamed to the more regionally appropriate Taipo Cow Station. In January 1967, Ma Liu Shui Station is renamed to University Station after the recent attainment of the university status by the Chinese University of Hong Kong. In 1968, Wo Hop Shek Cemetery branch line stops accepting coffins and is from now on only used for grave sweeping and other ceremonies. In January 1969, Yamati Station is renamed to the more regionally appropriate Mong Kok Station. In November 1975, the Kowloon terminus is moved to newly reclaimed land in Hung Hom after the station in Sim Sa Choi was deemed too small to keep up with the increasing rail freight and passenger demand. Despite the relocation to Hung Hom, the new station is still named Kowloon. In October 1978, Racecourse Station opens in time for the new Jockey Club Sha Tin Racecourse. In April 1979, through trains between Kowloon and Guangzhou are restarted after improvement in relations. This marks the first time that the new Kowloon station is used for a through train. In October 1979, after a decade of planning and construction, the first phase of the first MTR line, the Kwun Tong line, opens. There were 3 phases to the new line as part of the proposed modified initial system that was accepted for construction. The first phase that opened ran from Kwun Tong to Shek Kip Mei via Kowloon Tong, Lok Fu, Wong Tai Sin, Diamond Hill, Choi Hung, Kowloon Bay, and now Mong Kok. In December 1979, just 2 months later, the second phase of the modified initial system opens. The new section runs from Shek Kip Mei to Sim Sat Choi via Argyle, Waterloo, and Jordan stations. Another 2 months later, in February 1980, the third and final phase of the modified initial system opens. The new section runs from Sim Sat Choi to Chater via Admiralty and marks the completion of the first MTR line as part of the double tracking and electrification of the KCR to turn it into a commuter-based railway. In April 1981, the new Beacon Hill Tunnel opens. I have made a video about the abandoned old Beacon Hill Tunnel, which can be found in the description. In May 1982, the KCR section of Kowloon Tong Station opens, allowing commuters to interchange with the MTR. Also in May 1982, a number of stations are renamed to better match their location. Chater is renamed to Central, Argyle is renamed to Mong Kok, and Waterloo is renamed to Yamate. Note that there are now 2 stations called Mong Kok, one on the KCR and one on the MTR. At the same time, the new Chun Wan line opens from Chun Wan to Central. The new stations are Tai Wo Hao, Kwai Fong, Kwai Hing, Lai King, Lai Wan, Lai Chi Kok, Chung Sha Wan, Sham Shui Po, and Prince Edward. Several stations differ in names from the original plans. Kwai Hing was named Kwai Chung, Kwai Fong was Lap Sap Wan, Lai Wan was Lai Chi Kok was Chung Sha Wan, and Chung Sha Wan was So Uk. MTR planners correctly predicted that the ridership on the Chun Wan line would exceed the Kwun Tong line, so the Chun Wan line took over the harbor crossing section that the Kwun Tong line previously used from Mong Kok to Central. The Kwun Tong line now terminates at Yamate. Prince Edward Station was opened as an intermediate station for interchanging. When it opened, you were not able to enter or exit the station. However, some station exits opened a week later. In April 1983, the new Tai Po Market station opens further south of the old one. The old one is declared a monument and is preserved as a railway museum 2 years later. At the same time, the Wohop Shek Cemetery branch line closes after it was deemed a hindrance to the new town developments in Shungshui and Fanling. No traces of the branch line remain after residential developments were built on top of the new land. The former Wohop Shek station used to be located at the roundabout on Mingyan Road. The next month, Tai Po Khao station closes due to a lack of importance amid increasing urbanization. The old station was demolished and is now the site of the KCR staff quarters, trackside villas. In August 1983, Tai Wai station opens. In February 1985, Pho Tan station opens. In May 1985, the Island Line opens between Admiralty and Chai Wan. The new stations are Wan Chai, Causeway Bay, Tin Hau, Fortress Hill, North Point, Quarry Bay, Tai Koo, Sai Wan Ho, Shao Kei Wan, Hung Fa Chun, and Chai Wan. At the same time, Lai Wan Station is renamed to Mei Fu. In May 1986, the Island Line is extended to Central and Sheung Wan. 3 years later, in May 1989, Tai Wo Station opens on the KCR. In August 1989, the Kwun Tong line is extended to Quarry Bay via the Eastern Harbour Crossing to reduce crowding on the Chun Wan line. 2 months later, in October 1989, Lam Tin Station opens as an intermediary station between Kwun Tong and Quarry Bay. In December 1995, a section of track on the KCR in Pak Shek Kok is straightened after a deadly accident caused by the sharp bend there. The newly built science park on the reclaimed land allowed for the straightening of the tracks. In early 1996, Kowloon Station is renamed to Hung Kong Station. In June 1998, the Tung Chung line opens from Tung Chung to Hong Kong Station via Kowloon, Olympic, Lai King, and Tsing Yi. In July 1998, the Airport Express opens parallel to the Tung Chung line, except for the final stretch to the airport. The two lines share the same track due to a budget restriction. This forces the Tung Chung line to operate at a low frequency, averaging 6 minutes. In September 2001, the Kwun Tong line is extended to North Point to relieve congestion in the busy interchange of Quarry Bay. The next year, in 2002, the Chung Kwan O line opens. The Chung Kwan O line replaces the Eastern Harbour Crossing section of the Kwun Tong line. The new line runs from Po Lam to North Point via Quarry Bay, Yau Tong, Tuking-Lang, Chunkwano, and Hanghao. At the same time, the Kuntong line is extended till Tuking-Lang via Yaotong. In December the next year, KCR's second railway line, the West Rail Line, opens from Tunmun to Namchong. Namchong Station opens as the terminus of the new line and as a new interchange for the Tungchung Line. The West Rail Line goes through Siuhong, Tinshui-Wai, Longping, Yunlong, Kamshung Road, Chunwan West, and Meifu. In October 2004, the KCR is extended till East Simsa Choi. This is a historic moment as it is the first time in decades that the KCR runs till and terminates at Simsa Choi. 2 months later, in December 2004, the Ma On Shan line opens from Taiwai to Wukaisha via Chekung Temple, Shaotinwai, City 1, Shekmun, Tai Shuihang, Hengon, and Ma On Shan. In September 2005, the Disneyland Resort line opens to serve the new Hong Kong Disneyland Resort. It is the MTR's first driverless train line and the only single-tracked line. It operates between the newly opened Sunny Bay Station on the Tung Chung Line and the new Disneyland Resort Station. It is also the MTR's shortest line at 3.4 kilometers. The trains on it are custom designed to match the Disneyland theme. 2 months later, in December 2005, the Airport Express is extended till Asia World Expo to serve the new exhibition hall. In July 2007, the Kowloon Canton Railway Corporation and the Mass Transit Railway Corporation agreed to a merger deal. This marks the start of the integration of the two railway companies and the MTR's railway monopoly. In August 2007, the Lok Ma Chau Spur Line opens as a new border checkpoint at Fujian Shenzhen to relieve the congestion on the local control point. In December 2007, the KCR and MTR have merged. KCR's 3 lines and the LRT are now on lease to the MTR, and the MTR now has a monopoly on railway transit in Hong Kong. At the same time, the KCR is renamed to the East Rail Line as part of the merger deal. September 2008 is the first time that passengers can travel between MTR lines and former KCR lines without changing tickets. In 2009, the Chun Kwan O line is extended to Lohas Park Station as a spur line branching from Chun Kwan O to serve the new residential development there. In the same year, the Kowloon Southern Link is completed and the West Rail Line is extended to Hung Kom Station via Austin. The East Rail Line now terminates at Hung Kom after the East Simsa Choi section is taken over by the West Rail Line. In June 2010, the last postal freight train departs from the International Mail Center in Hong Kong, marking the last ever freight train to run in Hong Kong. In 2012, the last of the intercity diesel through trains are replaced with newer electric trains. In December 2014, the Island Line is extended to Hong Kong University, which is abbreviated as HKU, and Kennedy Town Station. In March 2015, Sai Yuen Pung Station opens late on the Island Line extension after delays in construction. In October 2016, the Kuntong Line is extended to Ho Man Tin and Whampoa stations. In December the same year, the South Island Line opens from Admiralty to South Horizons via Ocean Park, Wang Chuk Hang, and Leitung. This marks the first time that the MTR serves all 18 districts. In September 2018, the controversial Beijing-Guangzhou-Shenzhen-Hong Kong high-speed rail opens, terminating at the new Hong Kong West Kowloon Railway Station. Controversy arose over the immigration control checkpoint measures inside the station, which enforces Chinese laws on a section of the station within Hong Kong's borders. In February 2020, the first phase of the severely delayed Tuen Ma line opens, connecting Taiwai to Kai Tak via Hin Keng and Diamond Hill. The rest of the Tuen Ma line is expected to be fully completed in 2021 and the rest of the Shaoqing to Central Link in 2022. As of 23rd April 2020, there has been no further railway development in Hong Kong. Next station, Hin Keng.